Hey guys, just wanted to get on and introduce video number 3 in this 4-part series. This is one long 2-hour workshop that is my Patreon makers group, and I broke it into 4 videos. You're about to watch video number 3, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. There we go. I don't know if you guys can be able to see. It's so subtle. It's like, that's too bright. You can't see. I mean, it's there, but it's definitely something you probably can't see on camera. You can only see it in real life, but got a little bit of outline on all those. And again, just for richness, I kind of like think of painting with multiple colors is, to me, a 3D paint job. If you paint even a curved object one solid color, it's kind of a 2D paint job on a 3D object. You know what I mean? Like a 3-dimensional object, it's got shading and variation of color on everything, because it's got, you know, if it's got a highlight, like if the sun's like, you know, like art class 101, like, you know, light source and shading, right? The light source is going to make the color brighter, the shading is going to make the color darker. So anything in 3-dimensional, it's not one color, hardly ever. It's always got variation. And so that's why I always start light, and I'll do, you know, even if it's just going to be blue, mine, because I want it to look 3-dimensional, I want it to have kind of a richness. I'm going to use 3 blues to make 1 blue. I'm going to start with the lightest, cover the whole thing. Like say I'm doing like a pair of blue jeans, and, you know, obviously it's going to be blue, but then, you know, say the middle of the leg is going to be, it's going to stay that like lightest color blue. And then as the leg rounds on either side, it's going to get a little bit darker, and then it's going to get a little even more darker. And that's going to give it more of a round, you know, shape to that leg. So I basically kind of take that idea and apply it to everything. Everything I paint gets more than 1 color, unless it's like bright white, you know, then I'll leave it bright white or something. But like for the most part, every color is at least 2 or 3 color combinations on my projects. So here's the other one. You guys have good lunch? Ooh. Oh, nice. See you, drive safe. Okay. All right. I think we're done with that. All right. So now we'll go ahead. We'll switch to the darker. Let me see how dry this is. Yeah, we can do this. We'll switch to the darker yellow and we'll do the outline of the banner. Should probably move these. These are a little too close to get good side angle on them. So actually I'm going to skip that. We're going to let those dry so I'll probably spread them out on a couple different paint boards before I do that. Instead, we'll go on to the wolves. So we'll do the wolf head. We're going to start base coat of like a gray. It's kind of like a gunmetal gray. We're going to do that first. I think what I'm going to do is kind of gunmetal gray, all of them. Whatever, like one side of them will pick up black. And so I'll spray black from one side. And then my plan is to go in with my airbrush and give them kind of like a blue highlight. So it almost looks like a fur, like a shiny fur with the blue, like, you know, like if you were looking at, I don't know, any wolf or animal with a really shiny coat, you know, where the black coat kind of shines, you might pick up a little blue tint. And so that's my plan. And then again, if any of this doesn't work, I just paint it again. I reimagine it and I start over. I try to get it right the first time because repainting projects really stinks. Worst project I ever had to repaint was the first Snake and Eagle project I did. I did Snake and Eagle. It was like 180 pieces. And I just out of the blue decided I wanted to add red to all the feather tips. And as soon as I put it together, I hated it. It looked horrible. And I was like, oh, this is like, I was mad. And I restuck every stinking piece to the boards and I repainted the whole thing. And I mean, it took me an extra 2 days probably of doing that. But when you put that many hours into something, if you're not happy with it, I learned early on, don't finish. Because I finished one project once, like I glued it up and everything, even though I wasn't happy with the way it looked. And as soon as I finished it, I was like, well, that was stupid. Because I just spent all that time doing it and I don't even like the finished product. So for me at the end, like when it's the hardest to like do something over again because you're so sick of it already, it's worth it because otherwise you just wasted all that time and you got nothing out of it, you know? So I paint till I get it right, but that also helps me kind of like just go with my gut. Like I don't question myself. You never know, like, but if you get the idea for it, do it, you know? We talk ourselves out of being awesome all the time. So for me, I just go for it. And then if I'm not happy with something when I'm done with it, again, maybe I screwed up worse. I don't know. But if I'm not happy with it in the first place, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, and that's honestly, I think that's really helped me do better projects because it's just that fearlessness, you know, like I'll either paint it again. I don't like it anyway, so I can't screw it up any worse than it is. So let's just go for it. You know, if I get an idea. So yeah, follow your gut because if something doesn't look right in your mind, just change it. What time is it? 2 o'clock. All right, making sure we got time. All right, so we're gonna gray in the gun. We're gonna go over the wolf. Wolf's got kind of like 3 like layers. He's got like kind of like a cheekbone layer of fur, kind of like a jawline, and then like what I guess would be his neck. They're all pretty much, they're going to be kind of repeating patterns across all 3, and they're all like little like they're all kind of like these pieces, you know, they're like fur pieces. So I'm going to stick with the same pattern. Like obviously when I spray gray, they're just going to be gray. But then when I spray black and I spray blue, I'm going to do the exact same pattern with each color on each piece. That repeating pattern might seem tedious, but for my stuff, like I like it when you put it all together, because when you stick it all together and all those pieces have the same repeating fade and the same color scheme all the way across, it just catches your eye. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I don't try to get fancy. I basically paint them all, you know, the base coat, and then I'll do the same black on each one of them. I'll do the same blue on each one of them. And then hopefully when they stick together, they look cool. One thing I do got to figure out is what color, because I've played around with a couple of different colors on the ears. So like the wolf ears, where's it? Right there. So the wolf ears, like these colors were red originally, and it matched like, you know, the gums and everything else. I don't know if I want them red though. Let's see. I don't want to do that. There. Huh. What is that? So I don't know if I like the insides of the ears red or gray. I guess it doesn't matter.
Red.
Red, you like red?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to be faded anyway. It's not going to be so bright. It's not going to be like that cherry red. It'll be like a, you know, the tips will be cherry red, but they don't get darker as it goes like into his ear. So yeah, I agree. I don't think gray was the right scheme. All right. So we're going to start with the gray on the wolf fur. Come on. There we go. So that's the inner ear. So that's going to be red. This could be gray and black. This is the top of the ear. Right here, that's the top of the ear. That's like the inside line, the bottom line. This is the cheek kind of section. This is right below the cheek section. And then this is like the bottom of the jaw. This piece over here. Let me be back to it. I'm going to get better at recording. Beep. Come on. All right, here. So these look kind of whitish. I'll spray them gray. then one cool thing I did about these, the cheek section. So these are all just like, you know, regular pieces, but I put a shaped seam across each one of them, if you guys can see that. And so I did that because one side of that seam can catch one color paint. There you go. One side of the seam can catch one color paint. The other side of that, like that seam right there, that line that I shaped into it. Like, so if I want this side to be black, I can spray this side will catch the black, this side will stay gray. That makes sense. So I kind of did that on purpose because I knew those pieces were going to be like two-toned. I wanted to have more than one color. So yeah, so I put a little like kind of like I don't know what you want to call it, a ridge or a backbone, or I don't know. I put just a shaped line through the middle of them so they would catch colors differently. So I'm excited to see how that goes. All right, so this is his face. Pretty much all of his face. And again, I go back to my reference. His face again. This isn't the most like, I don't know. I don't like the cream colored nose because that's not really realistic. It'll probably be a gray colored nose. Let's play with some colors. So let's try this color gray. I'm getting paint on all my devices. I'm just looking for the right gray. There we go. Okay. Where are these grids coming from? Sorry, I've got extra grids on top of my drawing for some reason. I don't know how that got there. Anyway. I guess I can go with that. So again, my reference piece isn't like it's not a template set in stone by any means. I kind of used it to see what I like about it and what I don't like about it, and just, you know, kind of where I want to put paint down. I hardly ever paint exactly what is designed on Procreate, just because, you know, paint looks different in real life than it does in Procreate. So so this is his face. I'm basically going to hit pretty much all of it. It's his tongue. I'm not going to touch his tongue yet because it's going to be obviously a different color. But I'll go ahead and hit a base coat of gray with everything because I think that'll be the lightest color on the wolf, is going to be that gray that I'm using. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and just give everything a base coat, and then I'll figure out exactly how I want to do the black and some of the blue shading a little bit later. So this is just going to get gray. Keep turning this down. And then this is the one, this is, you know, his mouth. This is like his bottom lip or his chin. And this is all the fur. So all of this bottom part's going to get gray also for just a base coat. All right. Next up, we are going to tackle probably the sword. It's got some gray on it. So like I'm just kind of hunting for other gray that I could paint. The sword pieces are sure. Yep. Here's the sword pieces. They're going to be a couple of different color grays, but I'll go ahead and hit while I've got it out. I'm trying to think which one's going to be dark and which one's going to be light. Let me look at the picture. So inside dark, outside light. Okay. So the inner parts are going to be the darker gray. The outer parts are going to be lighter gray. And so all I'm going to do is just hit these two. These are the two top parts of the inside of the sword. This is the bottom middle. And then this is the actual tip of the sword, which is going to be red. These parts right here are going to be gray. These are the sides, like this. This part gets right here. So this is gray. This is red. So yeah. So I'm just going to go in, hit what's gray. Something's loose. Let me fix this real quick. And so when you're using sticky putty, all you got to do typically, like now it's cold out, so it's a little bit rougher. But if you just kind of like warm it up or just move it a little bit, it'll help it re-stick. Typically when I'm going really fast, I just pinch them and that just kind of like reactivates the sticky, you know, and then I just whoop, stick them down. Then I give them a little shake. If nothing falls loose, then you should be pretty good to go. I'll tighten my camera. All right, so we're just going to paint a couple pieces of sword. There we go. Oh, needles. One other thing is, so I was thinking about my colors on this. You guys tell me what you think. Let me see if I've got another one. It's the right colors. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button, share it, turn on notifications, all that YouTube stuff. But I appreciate you watching and your support for the channel. So thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.